So let's talk about one of the biggest questions in personal finance. What do you do with your money, and in what order? Getting that sequence wrong is probably the #1 reason people just don't build wealth. So today, we're going to dive in and figure out how to build your financial foundation the right way, from the ground up.
This quote from our source material, wow, it just hits you right between the eyes, doesn't it? It's the perfect picture of the kind of financial chaos so many people find themselves in. You feel like you're making a smart move, maybe getting ahead, but when you actually look at the math, you're on a guaranteed path to lose.
And look, don't for a second think this is some kind of rare problem. This backwards approach is incredibly common. It's like trying to outrun a wildfire while you're wearing lead boots. Sure, you feel like you're running, but you're not actually getting anywhere.
Which brings us to the big question for you. If your financial life were a house, are you trying to put the roof on before you've even poured the foundation? Because I can tell you, the very first financial storm that rolls in is going to bring that entire thing crashing down.
Okay, so let's properly diagnose the problem here. Why is getting the order wrong so destructive? Well, it all comes down to some really simple and honestly pretty brutal math.
This right here shows you exactly why it's a losing game. You might be investing your money, hoping for maybe an 8 or 10% return from the market, which, by the way, is never guaranteed. But at the exact same time, that credit card debt is guaranteeing a 24% loss. It's a game you literally cannot win.
And what makes this even worse is that for so many people, there is absolutely no safety net. Get this, 1/3 of Americans have zero emergency savings. Nothing. That means one blown tire, one unexpected trip to the ER, and that whole financial house of cards just collapses.
So, how do we fix this? We start at the beginning. We start with the foundation. Level 1 isn't about getting rich. It's about survival. It's about building your financial shield.
And this isn't just about having some cash lying around. This is a psychological shield. Its main job is to protect your future investments from your present-day emergencies. It's the buffer that stops you from panic selling your stocks at the absolute worst time just because you need to cover a surprise bill.
So your first mission is clear, it's simple, and it's achievable. Get $1,000 into a savings account. That's it. Now, this isn't your full-blown safety net, but it's enough to handle most of those little life crises that would normally send you spiraling deeper into debt. And the emotional power of having that shield? It is absolutely real. Research from Vanguard actually shows that having just a small cash buffer can boost your feeling of financial well-being by over 20%. This is about more than just money. It's about cutting down your stress so you can actually think clearly about the next steps. Okay, is your shield in place? Good. Now it's time to go on the offensive. For levels 2 and 3, we are going to slay the financial parasites that are actively eating your future wealth.
I absolutely love this metaphor from the source material. High-interest debt isn't just a bill you pay. It's a wealth parasite. Anything with an interest rate over, say, 7 or 8% is actively feeding on your income, making it almost impossible for you to get ahead.
Now here's the crucial takeaway. Paying off your high-interest debt is the best investment you can possibly make. Period. This chart says it all. Paying off a 22% credit card gives you a guaranteed 22% return on your money. The stock market, well, it might give you 10%, if you're lucky. The choice is just so obvious.
And the most efficient way to kill these parasites is something called the debt avalanche. It's simple. First, you list all your debts by interest rate, highest to lowest. Then, you throw every single spare dollar you have at that top one, while just paying the minimums on everything else. As soon as it's gone, you take that whole payment and roll it, like a snowball, onto the next one on the list. Now, there is one and only one time where you should pause your debt attack, and it is a critical exception that you absolutely cannot afford to miss.
I'm talking about your employer's 401k match. This is literally free money. It is an immediate 100% return on your contribution. I don't care if your credit card is at 24%, you do not turn down a 100% return. So the rule is simple. Contribute just enough to get the full match, then immediately pivot back to destroying your debt.
Okay, so once the shield is built and the parasites are dead, we finally get to the really fun part. We can now enter the tax-advantaged era and start building the real wealth engine. Your first stop here is an IRA, an individual retirement account. Just think of it as your own personal wealth-building machine. Choosing between the two main types is actually pretty simple. With a Roth IRA, you pay taxes now, and then all your money grows and comes out completely tax-free in retirement. With a traditional IRA, you get a tax break today, but you'll pay taxes when you take the money out later. For most young earners, the Roth is a no-brainer, while the traditional can be great for folks in their peak earning years.
All right, next up is the secret weapon of personal finance, the Health Savings Account, or HSA. This thing it's just unbelievable. It's the only account that gives you a triple tax advantage. The money goes in tax-free, it grows tax-free, and it comes out tax-free for medical expenses. It's basically a supercharged, untouchable retirement account in disguise.
So why are we so obsessed with all these tax-advantaged accounts? Well, it's to avoid this nasty little thing called tax drag. See, when you invest in a normal brokerage account, you lose a piece of your growth to taxes every single year. And as you can see, over 30 years, that seemingly small drag can cost you $250,000 or more.
So let's put it all together. Building wealth, it's not about finding the next hot stock or crypto coin. It's about following a boring but proven sequence. This right here is your final blueprint.
And here it is, the whole roadmap on one slide. Step 1, build the shield. Step 2, destroy the parasites. Step 3, capture the freebie from your employer. Step 4, max out your tax shelters, your IRA and HSA. Step 5, go back and finish maxing out your 401k. And only then, only at the very end, do you move on to a standard brokerage account. This is the sequence. This is the way.
And that leaves us with one final question for you. Looking at this proven sequence, you really have to ask yourself, are you just gambling with scattered bets, or are you methodically building a financial house, brick by brick on a solid foundation? The choice and the blueprint are all yours.